Welcome, travelers, to my realm of nightmares. Allow me to be your personal assistant. Come in, take a seat, get comfortable. For when you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.
Hello, travelers. PA Nightmares here. I've noticed that over 30% of my viewers are not subscribed to the channel. So, if you're a new or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you like what I do, liking the video and commenting as well, as it really helps push this video into the algorithm and it really does help the channel grow. Well, I've taken enough of your time. On to the main event. Relax, Drake told me. Relax, I snapped back. How can I relax when we found him with half his face chewed off? To give some context, me and my roommate / friend were hard up for cash. Bills and rent were due. So when we saw flyers advertising a scavenger hunt with a cash prize, we jumped on that like white on rice. Aside from us, there were somewhere between 20 and 40 other people. We each divided into groups of 5, agreeing to divide the money amongst ourselves, and even split 5 ways. We'd each still be getting a good chunk of change. Along with Drake and I, there was also a couple whose names were Lola and Miller. Plus, there was a guy named Robert who went by Bob. Not to sound harsh, but he was the deadweight of our group. No pun intended. While we would do the searching, he would step away to take a drink. Now, we were busy searching the area, an abandoned hospital, and we'd found him dead in one of the surgery rooms. This is all kinds of fucked, I said. Some addicts probably did this. Fucking bath salts. I don't think so. Look at him again. I really don't want to. Just do it. I forced my gaze upon Bob's lifeless corpse once again. Okay, so aside from making me feel like throwing up, what am I supposed to be seeing here? Those aren't human teeth marks. What? I took a closer look, scrunching up my nose at the smell. Drake was right. Neither of us were experts. However, it was clear those bite marks couldn't have come from any normal person. That, of course, raised a disturbing question of what exactly was doing this then. I don't know what did this to him, and I don't care. I said, all I know is that we should warn the others and then get the fuck out of here. Just then, we heard a low croaking sound. The hell is that? Beats me. Maybe it's the floor? Glancing around showed us no answers to the question. Then our eyes fell back on Bob. Instantly, I felt my stomach knot up. It's probably just some gases escaping him, Drake said, trying to sound reassuring. This was immediately disproven when Bob sat up. You were saying? I said, slowly backing away. He let out a deafening wail, lunging at us. We tried jumping out of the way, but he caught Drake by his shirt, pulling him down. Do something, he yelled, trying desperately to keep Bob from biting him. I've always wondered, in some kind of zombie apocalypse, if my response would be fight, flight, or freeze. I'm proud to say it was the former. There were some old medical tools within the room, one of which was a scalpel. I grabbed it and ran to Bob, stabbing him in the temple. It would seem that he could still feel pain, because he screamed when I did, and turned his focus on me. He chased me around the surgery table for a minute or so, until Drake clunked him in the back of the head. He did this with a leg of an old cart he managed to break off. He kept beating Bob until he stopped moving. He yelled and cursed while doing this, and I saw this almost deranged look in his eyes. Drake? I said in a low voice as I approached him. Back the fuck off, he threatened, spinning around and pointing his weapon at me. Whoa, dude, chill out, it's me. I raised my hands to show I wasn't a threat to him. Huh? Oh, my bad. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Bob's blood pooling on the floor told me that a little was an understatement, but he had more important things to worry about, namely Lola walking into the room and finding us covered in blood with a dead body on the floor. The fact that Drake was still holding the now caked with gore cart leg didn't help to disprove her notion. Her eyes grew wide when she saw us. She ran, and we chased after her. Miller was right outside the room as well, and freaked out when he saw us chasing her. They tried to get away, but ended up tripping over some discarded rope, and we jumped on them, pinning them down. Then we tied them up, gagging their mouths with some shirts, dragging them into a nearby room. Okay, I told them, letting out a deep breath. If we let you talk, do you promise not to yell or scream? They nodded, and Drake pulled the shirts from their mouths. Upon doing so, they began to scream at the top of their lungs for help, so their mouths were re-gagged. Any ideas? Drake asked. I'm trying to think, I replied, pacing back and forth. Fuck, this is bad. Maybe we should just call the cops. Hell no. If those two think we killed Bob, so will the cops. Shit, you're right. Sorry, my brain is like scrambled right now. We turned back to Lola and Miller to see they looked confused, presumably at her claim. You two still don't believe us, I said to them. They gave us a stare, as if to say, obviously not. Well then, why haven't we killed you already? We've had plenty of time to do it. They seemed to consider it. Look, could you at least hear us out? They nodded again, and for the second time, we ungagged. I proceeded to explain what really happened. You can even look at his body, Drake added. You'll see, he was already dead before we found him. Or, at least, he should have been. That means whoever or whatever did it might still be here, so we need to stick together. Otherwise, we could end up like Bob. Although reluctant, they complied with us. We untied them, and the four of us headed back to the other room. There, we saw Bob's body was no longer there, and we lost our collective shit. That brings us to now. We've decided to call the cops. After all, seeing as of how Bob is still alive, we can say our previous actions were self-defense. Plus, Lola and Miller agreed to vouch for us. We've locked ourselves in this room, and we're waiting for the police to arrive. I feel bad for the poor bastards who run into Bob. I'm typing this on my phone, so I'll update when I can. I'm sure I don't need to go into detail. While sleeping on a hospital floor, let alone one that's been abandoned, isn't very comfortable. Such was our case, because we're still stuck here. The cops, they did arrive. Unfortunately, things didn't turn out how we hoped. To make a long story short, we heard several gunshots followed by screams, and what sounded akin to sticks being snapped in half. We called 911 and informed them that the officers they had sent out weren't doing so hot. We didn't say it exactly like that, but they got the idea. Much to our dismay, they informed us that a blizzard was kicking up outside, and that it would take a bit for more help to arrive. They can't be serious, Lola said, wrapping her blanket around herself tighter. It's nearly the end of March. We found a store of some, and they helped us keep warm for the night. What rotten luck, Miller said. I don't even remember seeing anything about snow when I checked the weather yesterday. Never mind a freaking blizzard. Well, the way I see it, we should get the fuck out of here before it gets really bad, I told him. Getting to the first floor should have been a relatively straightforward process, or it would have been if it weren't for the people trying to kill us. We already knew to be on the lookout for Bob. However, we didn't expect that he wasn't the only threat to us. I'm pretty sure the stairs are this way, Drake whispered to us as we were walking through the halls. Wait. A little growl echoed to us. I don't like that at all, I told Drake. We don't have anything to worry about. There's 4 of us, and we're all armed. We snapped more legs off the chairs to make us makeshift weapons. The noise was followed by several loud instances of it, and the thudding of heavy footsteps ascended the stairs. Okay. How about now? I asked. Yeah, we better hide. We locked ourselves in another room. My heart skipped a beat as the sounds were now right near the door. This This is where things get really fucked up. A window was in the door, in which we could partially see into the hall from our position. The people passing by the door, while humanoid, were most certainly not human. We knew they weren't because A, people usually aren't that massive. We're talking levels of muscle that would put gorillas to shame. B, I've yet to see anyone with pulsing purple veins running up and down their skin until then. C, they had more than 2 eyes. And D, we could see bullet holes in some of them, and they didn't seem the least bit fazed by that fact. What in the fuck was that? Miller asked. How do you expect me to know? I replied. Jesus Christ. That means there's probably more of those things running around here. At least they'll be easy to spot, Lola pointed out. Yeah, we can take solace in that fact when they catch us and do who knows what to us, Drake responded. Miller didn't take kindly to that. She's only trying to stay optimistic, unlike you, who was clearly fine with giving up. I've worked with Drake for years now, and when he reaches his limit, I see him get this not gonna take any more shit expression. The times that this has happened have resulted in physical altercations on more than one occasion. The best way I can put it is weird people come into the store late at night, and by weird, I mean drunk or high, and high doesn't mean weed. Stoners we're okay with. Most times, they only buy a fuck ton of junk food and leave. The others, on the other hand, we've needed to kick out with extreme force. I'm getting off track though. Seeing that an argument was on the verge of brewing, I intervened. Look, obviously we're all under a lot of stress, I said, but arguing won't help. So let's keep our eyes and ears open, and we might make it out of here. We listened closely, confirming that those creatures were gone. We made our way back to the stairs, descending them. Now, what we expected was to simply go down several flights of stairs, and then head to the exit. This went well for the first 2 flights. Then we discovered the next door was blocked by debris. You've gotta be fucking kidding me, I said. We're trapped? There's probably another exit, Lola stated. It's probably on the other side of the building. What if it's blocked off too? Do you have any better ideas? Miller asked me. When I replied I didn't, we began walking to the other stairs. While doing so, it dawned on me how strange it was we hadn't seen any of the other contestants. Including us, there was a total of 6 groups. True, we had been up there for a long time prior to the stuff with Bob going down. However, it was weird that we didn't see anyone else before then. I wanted to point this out, but figured it could wait. In the ad, it did mention the hospital would have its electricity on for the duration of the contest. This was true, until the lights went out, with no warning. It must be the storm outside, Drake said. Everyone, join hands so we don't lose anybody. We continued for a little while. Miller, your hand is really sweaty, I said to him before remembering I was the one in the back. Guys, I whispered, trying to keep the panic from making my voice rise. What was currently holding my other hand wasn't really sweaty. Rather, it felt slimy. Despite this, its grip was strong. Heavy breathing was loud behind me. Whatever this thing was, it was different from the monsters we saw previously. Miller, I said, could you please let go of my hand for a moment? My arm itches. When he let go, I quickly used the sharp end of my chair leg to stab it in what was presumably one of its eyes. It let go, stumbled back, while letting out a choked gargle. I told the others to run, and we hauled ass. The creature let out a shriek, which became accompanied by the heavy thudding of the monster we glimpsed previously. They were gaining on us fast, leaving us no choice but to go into the nearest room. Once inside, we pushed a table in front of the door. It was pretty heavy, so we're hoping it'll hold long enough for what we're planning to do next. They're outside waiting for us to come out. In the meantime, I was able to type this all out. As for what we're trying to do, the room has a closet in it, which we found some rope. It should be long enough to reach the lower floor's window. Considering the blizzard, my hopes of this going well aren't exactly high. Still, we have to try something. Hopefully, I'll be able to update you tomorrow. If I don't, that means I probably died. Tonight's story was We're Trapped in an Abandoned Hospital, Parts 1 and 2, written by Rose Black. If you enjoyed this, chances are you'll enjoy the content over at his Reddit. Please check him out and let him know PA sent you. Hey, did you have merch? Well, I do. And if you like to walk around representing my realm and gaining me new travelers, the links to my merch store, as well as all my other social medias, will be in the description below. As always, I'd like to say a special thank you to all my lovely Patreons. 242 Reads, Rando Calrissian, Seraphine the Midnight Bard, Creepy Clown Girl, Mia Mina, Hair Raising Narratives, Spooky Boo Scary Story Time, Lycan Trucker, and Pimp Demon. If you'd like to join these lovely travelers by the light of my fire, you can do so by becoming a Patreon as well. Just remember, the support is always appreciated, but it's never expected. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ding that bell if you're new, as all of that will really help push this video into the algorithm and helps the channel grow.
But as always, travelers, once you step into my realm, there's no stepping out.